Hi everyone, Mr. Alberto here, and this is my door clip tutorial. So we're going to clip through this door. What we're going to do is we're going to charge speed against this wall right here. And this slope, this is a tiny slope here. At a certain speed, he's going to clip using the slope, which all it's going to do is teleport Link down, but he's still going to be considered grounded. So he's going to go directly down from here. He's going to go under the ground, so like under here. And then he's going to go under this collision right here. And then he's going to go under this like the floor. And then he's going to hit a small door, which is actually right under this big door for some reason. And then he's going to hit it and pop back up because he's going to get a jump. And from there, he's in the collision, and then you can go into the loading zone. So the first step of what you want to do is you want to get into this corner right here. And you want to aim the dot around right here. So between here and here works. Anything farther left, you're risking getting a hop in place because of the way the clip works. And anything too far to the right, and you literally just can't get it to work because he's going. You're not going to be able to get the correct angle to get to the door and reasonably get a consistent clip. So there's a lot of factors going into this clip. So there's this dot placement, and then there are speed, and then there's the angle that you clip at so that you hit the door. So those are the three factors of door clip. And so once we have this angle, which around here, right, get the dot to touch this white texture on the right. Get around there. And what you want to do is you want to charge forwards and then hold it down right-ish ESS to go into the corner to charge negative speed. Very soon after charging the item slide, not too late, you're going to want to hold up left, and that's going to make the camera sync. So if you don't hold up left, the camera doesn't sync. But if you do, it does. And you want to be very cognizant of your up left angle, because if it's too far to the right, you'll get the visual cue we're going to be using for getting speed. It's called a weird shot. You're going to get too much speed if you aim too far to the right. If you aim too far to the left, you're going to get too little speed. So aiming too far to the right looks kind of like this. What's going to happen is the background's going to stay in place for longer than it should. So you can see the background stayed in place for too long. That means that your up angle is too far to the right. So again, charge, hold up. You can see the background stays in view for way too long. If you aim far enough left, which is the correct amount, it should look like this. So you see the background flash, and then you saw the door. And if you don't see the background flash at all, like that, your angle's too far to the left. And basically, too far to the left, you get too little speed. Too far to the right, you get too much speed. One thing that can randomly happen while charging is that you can clip in place while charging. And all that means is that you got door clip, but it happened while you were charging, which you don't want because you don't have the correct angle, you're not ready, because we also have to make it so that we're going with that speed in the correct direction. You can get door clip out of charging. It's extremely rare, and it's only happened to me once in all of doing this. But it has happened before, and you just get lucky and celebrate. So once you've gotten the camera to sync, so you charge the item slide, hold up left to convert to positive, it syncs, and now you look at when the dot goes back up. So you see the dot rising, and you saw 3 frames. The dot went back on the screen on 1 frame, and so that was 2 frames. But it's really 3 that the dot goes back on the screen until it hits the center. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 3rd frame of the dot getting on the screen. However, you will not see 3 times. And you will not necessarily see the dot on the screen for 3 frames until it hits the center. You could see it for 2. Means that the first frame of the dot being on the screen was actually the 2nd frame. So the frame that you caught was actually the 2nd frame. So you got to count frames very carefully. And if you can't count frames, just look for when the dot hits the center of the screen like that. If the cannon fires, reset the item slide, because the cannon is going to push the dot way up, and it's going to throw off your visual cue. So we have to know when to stop the item slide. So you're going to pause buffer and get so that it's the 1st frame, that's the 2nd frame, and that's the 3rd frame. I could tell those were individual frames because I was looking at the rupee counter while I was charging the item slide. So this is the correct frame. So the 3rd frame being the dot being on the screen, or the 1st frame of the dot hitting the pause overlay. If you get a 2-frame pause, you need to recognize it. So if on the 3rd pause I saw that the rupee counter flashed, I knew that was too much speed. And so if it's too much speed, I will know to kill more speed later. And I'll explain what will happen at this point. So here we're just going to lose speed because we have too much speed now, which is important because we're going to need to start setting up our angle so that we hit the door under the loading zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, we're going to hold it down right-ish, a little bit down right, so that we end target, so that, and we're going to unpause. So this converts our speed to negative, and we're going to be going forwards. I don't pause this part, but I'm pausing it to explain how it works. After you are going forwards, you then want to switch your up angle to up left. And now I'm going up with positive speed, which is what we want. And I'm holding target this entire time. Do not let go of target at all until the trick finishes. So now we want to get the correct angle. So we're going to be messing around. See that Link's angle? He's moving on the door. We want to get that in the correct direction. And there's a setup for this. So what we want to do is we want to get him running forwards, but we want to get him as far left as possible, still running forwards. And he will do door clip. So this is him, that worked. Basically, I'm going to get too much speed and show what I mean by his running animation. So basically, this is the scooting animation, which is too far left. I'm aiming the camera left. I'm moving the right stick. Do not touch the left stick. Just hold up, and then whatever up angle, it's fine. It'll work for any up angle. And then I'm moving the camera. So now I'm moving it right, and now I'm moving it left. What you want to do is you want to get it right so that he is still running forwards, and you want to get it so that it's just far enough left that he's still running forwards. So any far left of this point, he is going to be scooting sideways. So you want to get him running forwards like this. This is the correct angle, but this can still work. The reason you don't want him in the scooting animation, I will explain what the scooting animation is that it makes the clip less consistent. So it will clip around 50% of the time. The advantage of this animation, though, is that it kills speed 3 times as fast. So if you saw that you got a 2-frame pause and you're a frame over, you want to hold this for around 5 seconds and then pop back in to running forwards. And that will save a lot of time. Well, a couple of seconds, but it'll save a lot of time because you killed speed a lot faster. It probably saves around 5 to 10 seconds by doing that. You don't want too far right of an angle or else you won't hit the door. So I'll show what too far right of an angle works. So this is too far right over here. And what he should do is he'll land at the stairs. So wait for him to clip and you will see he lands at the stairs. So like that. That means your angle was too far to the right, meaning that you needed your camera a little bit further left. If you if you are in the scooting animation while that happens, what will happen is that he will often jump in place. But sometimes he clips. It's random and it depends on the speed you had on the frame that you hit clipping speed. So here he hopped in place. That's why we avoid being in that animation. We just run forwards. Because running forwards has a much higher chance of working. So here, this could work. It's random. It's out of our control whether this works. He clipped in place again, but sometimes he gets into the loading zone. And one last thing to mention is that this angle right here, if your angle was more to the left, he's going to jump in place more often, even if you're running forwards. If you are at this point, he will have a 100% chance of running in place. But the problem is, the more right your dot is, the harder it is to hit the door without scooting. So that's why I recommend finding what works for you. But if you are going to the stairs too often, aim this more to the left. If you're hopping in place too often, aim this more to the right. So I'll show the whole thing now. And that's door clip.